Hello there, and welcome to a video where I will be predicting the 2023-2024 NFL playoffs. I will be making every prediction from the wild card all the way to the Super Bowl. If you agree with these predictions, thank you. If not, please get mad at me in the comments section below. This is my opinion, and you might disagree with me. So let's get into it. The first playoff matchup we have is the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns, they have an amazing defense. They've had to overcome a lot. Nick Chubb getting hurt. They've had a lot going on at quarterback. Deshaun Watson, P.J. Walker, and Dorian Thomas-Robinson, or whatever his name is, I already forgot. Who would have thought the best one would be Joe Flacco, who has been completely lighting it up since he got there. He looks amazing. And then we have the Houston Texans, and what a surprise they have been. They went from being one of the worst teams in football to making the playoffs, winning their division, and all of that can be credited to rookie QB C.J. Stroud, who has had an amazing year. Nico Collins has been really good, and Will Anderson has made a case for Defensive Rookie of the Year, and D'Amico Ryans has a case for Coach of the Year. Also, Kevin Stefanski as well has a case for Coach of the Year. Both these guys could make arguments. Now, both the Browns and Texans did play each other not too long ago. The Browns won 36-22, but C.J. Stroud was not playing in that game. However, despite that, I'm going to pick the Cleveland Browns. I think they have the better defense. Don't think the Texans are quite ready yet, and I think the Browns are going to win this game, and I think they will be a dangerous team in the playoffs. So I have the Browns winning their first game. Next up on the AFC side, we have the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs. Exclusively on Peacock. Yes, this game will be exclusively on Peacock. So, we have the Miami Dolphins. They have their great offense, Tua, Mostert, Hill, Waddle. They have a great offense. They can put up points. Now, the defense is a question. They have a lot of injuries. Bradley Chubb and a few other guys are hurt. I know they brought in some guys to hopefully stop the bleeding. And then we have the Kansas City Chiefs, who have maybe not been the Chiefs we all know. Their defense has definitely been good, and that was usually their weakness. They have a defense that's played very, very good. The offense has been kind of meh. Mahomes is still Mahomes. Kelsey's still Kelsey, but the wide receiving core has been terrible. Kadarius Toney especially. Rashid Rice has been really good for them, but apart from that, the receiving core has not been good. The Chiefs and Dolphins actually played earlier this year. In Germany, actually. The Chiefs won 21-14. Low-scoring game. Now, I'm rooting for the Dolphins. Kind of tired of the Chiefs, no offense. But I think the Chiefs at home, the weather in KC's cold, which I think will be a challenge for Miami. The Dolphins, I don't know if they can beat good teams yet. And I think the Chiefs, I just have more trust in them. So I think they're going to win this game. Next up on the AFC side, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know what to think. I really do not know what to think. Kenny Pickett doesn't look like the answer. Mitch Trubisky just sucks. Mason Rudolph, who everyone hated on, has been their best quarterback. I don't get it. And how do they keep winning? The Buffalo Bills, they've had a roller coaster of a year. They had a pretty decent start, then they had a really rough midseason. They fired Ken Dorsey, their OC. And since then, they've played a little bit better. Now, Josh Allen is one of the best playmakers in football. He can do great stuff with his arm and legs, though he also can turn over the ball a lot, and I think that's what's hurt the Bills in a lot of games. We have definitely seen the Bills can unfortunately play down to teams. Miami felt like they should have won that game by 2 touchdowns. Same with the Patriots, should have won that game by a lot more, and they can be a little bit untrustworthy sometimes. However, I just don't really trust the Steelers. TJ Watt being out really, I think, hurts them, and I think the Bills are going to win this game. Now we're going to be moving over to the NFC side. The first matchup we're going to be discussing is the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. Now, I am a Dallas Cowboy fan, so I might be biased here. But I think this Cowboys team is definitely very, very good. Dak Prescott has been awesome this year. He's played, in my opinion, the best football since his rookie year. And I'm not saying he's been bad in between it. He's just been great. He's cut down significantly on the turnovers, which was a major problem this year. CeeDee Lamb has been awesome. Brandon Cooks, when we get that guy involved, we win. All right? If we can get him involved, I feel very confident about this game. Tyler Smith being out is going to hurt them, unfortunately. Tyron Smith is still a very solid guard, and Zach Martin is amazing. Defense, Micah Parsons is an absolute beast. Dorrance Armstrong and DeMarcus Lawrence manning the D-line. Deron Bland has been a beast in the secondary. And special teams, Brandon Aubrey, though it didn't look that great against Washington, has been so good this year. I'm very proud of how good he's been this year. And I think we have a very good team. Now for the Packers, Jordan Love, despite some criticism early, has played very good in my opinion. And heck, he might be the next Hall of Fame quarterback for a team that has a history of great QB play. Now, I will say, I don't think the Packers have a great defense, and it doesn't really scare me that much. So, I feel good. The Cowboys are at home. We're really good at home. This is not an Aaron Rodgers Packers team that can beat us. Not saying Jordan Love can't do good things, and the Cowboys' run defense is definitely a little sketchy at times. But I think the Cowboys are going to win this game, and I'm pretty confident. Watch this come back to bite me. Next up, we have the LA Rams taking on the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford is coming back home to Detroit. The Lions win their first division title since 1993. They've had their best season since, 1991? This team has been amazing. Lions are back. The LA Rams have also had a very good season. Last year was rough, injuries, the Super Bowl hangover. This year they're back. They look very good. And heck, this game is going to be on prime time. I'm happy for the Lions and how good they're going to be, but I'm going to pick the Rams. And yeah, I do love the Lions, and I actually am kind of rooting for them a little bit. But I do have some questions. I don't really trust their defense, and I feel like at times their offense can leave some stuff to be desired. Not saying they're bad. I totally think they can win this game, and I think this will be a close game, and I think this will be the game of the week. However, I think I trust the Rams just a little bit more, and I feel like if there was going to be an upset, even though I don't know if that's an upset, I think it would be the Rams. So I'm going to have the Rams moving on, and that might be a hot take. And then on Monday Night Football, we have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the Philadelphia Eagles, they started off 10-1. They were the defending NFC champions, maybe only a couple plays away from possibly winning the Super Bowl. And then they have completely fallen apart. They had a 3-game losing streak, but even I was like, as much as I freaking hate Philly, even I thought people were overreacting to their struggles. I was like, they got the Giants and Cardinals their final 3 games. They'll win out. They lost to the Cardinals and looked bad against the Giants. Their defense has looked bad. It looks completely untrustworthy. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown look like they're banged up. This just seems like a team that's exhausted. They're limping into the playoffs. There doesn't seem like there's good vibes. Philly fans can be pretty aggressive, though so can Dallas fans. So, I don't know how to feel. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, no Tom Brady, no problem. Baker Mayfield has been amazing. Mike Evans is still one of the best receivers. Now, they didn't look that great against the Panthers. Their defense looked great, though it's against the Panthers. However, at home, and I just don't think Philly's been playing good, and heck, I wouldn't be surprised if Philly wins, but I think Tampa Bay is playing better. And if we were just to base it off what team has played better, I would go with the Bucs, and I have the Bucs winning, and I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this game. All right, moving on over to the divisional round. Moving on next, we have the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Buffalo Bills. And what a great rivalry this has been. It feels like each time these two teams meet, it's always a great matchup. Heck, this year we had another great matchup where it looked like Travis Kelce made a great play to Kadarius Toney, except Toney was over the line. It was kind of funny watching the Chiefs whine about it. The Chiefs are going to have to do something that they have never done, playing a road playoff game in Buffalo. The Bills have looked inconsistent, but I think they're going to get it done this year. I think this is the year they do it. I'm going to pick the Buffalo Bills to beat the Chiefs. Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns taking on the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, what a great year they've had. Lamar looks like he's going to win the MVP. They've had an amazing year. They got some good weapons on offense. Zay Flowers, Rashid Bateman, Odell's even contributed. Isaiah Likely's come out of nowhere to be good. Their defense has played very good, and despite the injuries at running back, they've been really good at running the football. This team looks very, very, very good. And I think this is their best chance to win a Super Bowl because you never know what could happen. Now, Lamar, he's kind of shut up the haters for now, though. If he loses this game, the haters will get loud. And also, I just realized Joe Flacco will be going up against Lamar Jackson. And this could be an interesting matchup. This one probably excites me the most. So, who do I think is going to win? I'm going to lean the Ravens. And I think it's close. And heck, part of me is tempted to pick the Browns. But I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think they're at home. I think Lamar's desperate to shut the people up, and I think they're going to pull this one out. I think it's going to be very, very close, but I think they're going to do just enough to pull it out. Heading over to the NFC, we have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Dallas Cowboys have never made it past the divisional round since 1995, and will this be their year? Heck, these two teams met last year. The Cowboys won convincingly, though I think these teams are drastically different. If you were to ask me right now, I think the Cowboys are going to win this game. The Cowboys would be at home. They play better at home. I think the Bucs could definitely give them a challenge, and I think this game could be that surprisingly close game. But I think the Cowboys are better, and I think this is a game they win. And I have the Cowboys moving on to the NFC Championship for the first time since 1995-96. Man, as a Cowboy fan, this would feel good. Next up, we have the 49ers and Rams. I'm not going to take that game into consideration because neither team was playing their starters and it didn't really look like the 49ers really cared that much. But the Niners have a very good roster. You could argue one of the best rosters in football. Brock Purdy's great. CMC's been amazing. That receiving core of Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, good O-line, a loaded defense, loaded with players who were just greatly drafted. This team is very well constructed from top to bottom. And I'm not shocked to see them the number one seed. They've done a very good job building it there. The Rams have had a good year, but I think it's going to end here. I think the Niners are going to win this game, and I think they're going to move on. All right, next up we have the AFC Championship, and we have the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm going to be picking the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're a better team. The Bills, again, I don't know whether or not to trust them. To be honest, I'm actually shocked I have them going this far. But I think the Ravens are better, and I think I trust them just a little bit more than the Bills, and I think they're going to move on. The Ravens are going to be your AFC champions. Next up, we have the NFC Championship, Dallas Cowboys versus San Francisco 49ers. It's just like it was in the 90s. As a Cowboy fan, I want to throw up, but I think if you put a gun to my head and asked me to make an honest prediction, I would probably have to go with the 49ers. Both teams did play each other in Week 6. The Niners won. Now, both teams, in my opinion, are completely different. But the Niners just seem to have their number for now. I want to throw up just thinking about it. And it's on the road. Dallas, in my opinion, has not shown they can beat teams on the road. And record against 500 can be a little sketchy. So, unfortunately, I have our season ending here. And the Niners are going to be representing the NFC. In Super Bowl 58, you have the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. A rematch of Super Bowl 47. I think the only player left from actually both teams is Justin Tucker. And obviously John Harbaugh, who, maybe like his brother Jim, he'll win a championship game this year. And if you've seen the NFL logo conspiracy, this is what the matchup's going to be. And I think this is likely I think if you were to ask me what matchup we're likely to get, I think this is the matchup we're going to get. I think we have the best team in the NFC and the best team in the AFC. Now, both these teams play on Christmas Day, and it was a sloppy game. Brock Purdy had 4 picks. The Niners just couldn't get anything going. But will that be the case? I think, like I said, this is the definition of getting the two best teams in football. And who's it going to be? And this might be a hot take, but I'm going to actually pick the San Francisco 49ers. I just don't see Brock Purdy having that repeat game he's had. And I think right now, like I said, I think on paper they have one of the best rosters in football. I hate the 49ers as a Cowboy fan, but I think that's who's going to win. My MVP prediction is going to be Christian McCaffrey. He also helped me on my fantasy team. I lost in the championship, in case you cared. So, those are my NFL playoff predictions. If you agree with them, thank you. If not, get mad at me in the comments section below. Bye.